Okay, it's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Brewdog. It is their Mashtag demographic brown ale, coming in at 7.4% ABV. This was an experiment by Brewdog. Has a red cap. It was a Twitter, you know, the hashtags on Twitter. It was Mashtag. Send in what you want brewed, and whatever comes out on top, Brewdog will give it a brew and brew it. So the style of beer is, as mentioned, it's a brown ale, but it's been brewed with hazelnut and oak chips. Quite a big brew, 7.4% ABV, but you expect that from Brewdog. Beer in the glass looks like a very dark brown ale, light, slightly kind of bleeding into the bottom of the glass, but it kind of looks like a stout to me. Really dark brown ale, if you want to call it a brown ale. One thing that's slightly off my head, and before I get into this brew, I would like to say thank you and to check out my sponsors, beersofeurope.co.uk. They're the biggest online beer store in the UK. They've got beer from most countries around the world. They've got some of the new London breweries that are kind of kicking off in London. They've got beer from, obviously, Brewdog. They've got beer from America, Sweden, Germany, loads of Belgian brews. Literally, if you want something specific, check out Beers of Europe. They more likely have got it than not. www.beersofeurope.co.uk. Check them out. But back to the review. I gotta get my nose into this one. Smells a bit like a Scotch ale. Nice and hoppy, nice and malty. American hops, most definitely. You're getting that oak chip as well. The hazelnut will probably come in a taste, so let's dig in. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Woo! Oh my word! Stone the Crows! What a great tasting beer. Okay, this is, in all honesty, my fourth review of the evening. I've reviewed some kind of very, very average beers. When you review average kind of beers, it always rocks you onto your back foot when you get something as good as this. It wakes up your senses. I was thinking, oh, shall I do the Mashtag tomorrow? Shall I kind of leave it for now? Shall I go away and drink these boring beers? No, let's give it a go. And yes, it's kind of revitalized me, and it's made me fall in love with beer all over again. It's quite spirity, but that spirit is kind of balanced with a lot of flavours. You almost want that in a kind of nearly imperial strength brown ale. It kind of coats, and you feel it just burning its way down a little bit as it goes down. It's not too kind of severe, it's not fiery in any way, or fiery. It just goes down nicely and warms you up. There's a lot of malt, big malt characters in this beer. It's very scotchy. It's hoppy. We'll hit the hops in a minute. Actually, let's hit the hops now. It's a bitterness that kind of catches you on the inside of your cheeks, and then it kind of pulls you the back of your throat apart towards the end of the taste, the end of the palate. It's not huge, it's not great big, grapefruity, mangoey, lemony, piney, pithy. It's not that, but it's the bitterness. It just leaves you with a nice kind of pull on the middle. But then again, just had a small kind of, hopefully inconspicuous burp to myself, and it was a little hoppy, a little grapefruity, a little piney. But I think what's happening here with this beer is that it's the bigger, maltier flavours that are pulling through the most with this beer. Raisin, prunes, on its way to being a good kind of, it's the oak. It's most definitely the oak chips that have been put in that give it a almost scotchy kind of flavour, and appear to be, I know they're calling it a brown ale, but I'm really thinking that this is coming out more than a kind of, it's definitely coming out like a Scotch ale. I mean, coming from Scotland, these guys know how to brew a Scotch ale anyway. But for me, not really getting too much of the hazelnut. You do get the oak chips, you really do. And yeah, it's nice and malty. How do I rate it? 7.4%. It's a little bit, I've noticed when I read the bottle, when you read the bottle on a punk IPA, it really is kind of in your face. If you don't like us, go away, shut the door, carry on drinking your lager, we don't care. And that was kind of James Watt's attitude, and it's what made Brewdog brilliant. But now the brewery's grown in size, they've probably got a marketing department. I am going to say that this has moved away a little bit from being, I really don't think this is James Watt's idea. I think there's something they've come up in the marketing department. They've said, oh no, let's use Twitter, let's use the social networks, let's do this Mashtag thing. And it's not that, the write-up is not in your face, it's not long, it's small, it's to the point, and it just, for me, it's been dreamt up in the marketing department. Let me read it. Mashtag was an epic experiment in crowdsourcing. For a start, crowdsourcing. Do you think James Watt would use the word crowdsourcing? I don't think so. Which handed the keys to the brewery over to craft beer drinkers. We asked you guys to direct all the various elements of the brew, and you decided to brew a 7.4% American brown ale with oak chips and hazelnuts. I'm going to go back. We asked you guys to direct all the various elements. It's like bloody, 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 marketing department, bloody, bloody, blah. I want James Watt on here. I want James Watt to be saying, if you don't like this beer, go away, and kind of pee your pants and drink your lager. I wanted to go back to that. This is Brewdog going a little boring. They're getting a little bit boring on me, and I think I'm kind of not a. I'm not a fan of that kind of marketing department boomph, if you like. But quickly going back to the beer rating. Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 beer from the Real Ale Guide. I just think the kind of the whole marketing department idea is kind of taking the shine off this beer for me. I like it. It's a good beer, but I want Brewdog to be Brewdog. Thanks for watching me, the Real Ale Guide. Put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to my daily beer reviews. Cheers.